Hello, it's Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and today I'm here to do a video on about 10 of my favorite things that I sold in the month of July on Etsy. So I had a really good, strong month of sales on Etsy, and I am gonna go through and show you some of my favorite things. Now, these are items that just are really fun for me to buy and sell. Some are just really big, like big ticket money things that I was surprised about. But all in all, I had a really good month, like I said. And I don't have my numbers of how many sales. I think it was like around 50 or so different sales on Etsy. And then I do have one thing on this list that I sold on eBay, which is a rare time that I do that. But for this particular, for the item that it was, you'll see why. But yes. Now, before I get to the meat of this video, I'm gonna lay out a couple things. I have free shipping on all of my items in my Etsy store. So that's just a business decision that I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how much the item sold for, and then I'm going to give you how much I actually got to keep of that. So I already accounted for Etsy's 5% take. They take 5%, plus they take like, 20 cents to list and then all that. But then since I do pay for the shipping out of my profit of that gross sale amount, I'm gonna just tell you what I put in my pocket at the end of the day. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna show you is this really cool retro, like from the 60s or so. It's a matchbox holder, and I didn't know, I think whenever I bought it, I wasn't really quite sure what it was. I just knew that it looked really awesome, and I loved the color. I loved the flowers on it. It's hand-painted flowers. And this was just a really fun pickup for $1 at a yard sale. So couldn't go wrong with that. I later found out that it's a match box or a match holder, and then you can strike your matches on the side here where this, like where the ridges are. So it sold for a grand total of $28 with free shipping. So after cost of goods and everything, I made about $20 on this item because, you know, it's lightweight. So I was able to ship it first class mail, and the shipping was like $5.12. So that's cool. That's the first item. Really fun, just a great, happy item that I was able to get. Now, another fun thing I like to pick up are these chalkware wall plaque things. I do pretty well with them. And I actually bought these at an antique mall, which is pretty strange, you know, to be able to buy things at an antique mall and then resell them. But they only had $10 on, I think it's about $10 on the pair of these. Just the color is really what drew me in. So I had to buy them, but they are really fun quiche, that retro quiche style. Really nice. They sold for $55 with free shipping. So after everything is considered, cost of goods, shipping, I took home about $30. So that's really good on these. And to ship them was quite simple. I mean, you just put some bubble wrap around them. I actually put them back to back and then taped them together as a unit. And then I have a whole video on shipping. If you have not watched it, I'd explain how I ship things. But this just was a great item, and it was lightweight, you know, very good. Now, this next item I'm about to show you is really outstanding. $250 for this abacus. Wow. So this is actually one of the most expensive things I've sold. I think I've been asked before what was the most expensive thing, and I don't remember. It could be around the $400 mark. I can't imagine anything more than that. So I think I top out around $400, but this one was outstanding. Now, this is a rosewood, which is really the reason why it sold for this much. Because, you know, you can buy these abacus math things all over the place for a few dollars here and there, and they really only sell for about $15 to $20. But in this case, it's rosewood, and that is what made it so desirable. So I think I paid about $3 for this at an estate sale. And I don't know, I can't remember if it was like a family ran estate sale or if this was one of those professional ones. I think it was actually a professional one, to be honest. So that goes to show how some things can slip by people. And actually it slipped by me too. I would have had no clue that it was rosewood. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know that there was such a market out there, but it's exotic. I think it's actually one of the endangered species right now. So $250 and outstanding. Now this was on eBay, by the way. eBay fees are about 10%. Etsy's about 5%. So after, you know, I started with a $250 sale and I'm down to $205. So there was like a $25 fee there just to sell it, but that's great. And the shipping was like 15 bucks. So $205, amazing. Very cool for this abacus. Next up, I cringe whenever I look at this photo because the white is so blown out, but this is like it's custard glass. I can't believe that I thought this was okay, this photo. And it took a while to sell, and I can see why. You just really can't tell anything about it. It's just so washed out. So let's see if we can slide through and maybe get a better idea. It's this scroll work on here. It's made by Northwood, like I said, and it's just a beautiful creamer. I paid $2 or $3 for this about a year and a half ago, and it finally sold for $45. So that's fun. After all the fees and everything, I took home about $32 in this case. Now you can see the shadows are casting a little bit more on this angle. It's just really pretty. Yeah, I probably could have sold it a lot easier if I would have put a black background behind it, but I wasn't doing that at that point. And so, hey, learn as you go, don't we? This item here is super cool. So I actually bought this one at my antique mall. I have 3 antique booths, and whenever I go to stock the booth or whatever, I look around and I see if there's anything for me to buy. And here we are with this Fitz & Floyd kangaroo salt and pepper shaker set. They had this price for about $3 at my mall, and I turned around and sold it on Etsy for $40 with free shipping, of course. So that's really fun. The shipping was first class, so it went $5, and after everything's considered, I walked away with $30 profit on this little guy right here. So that's really awesome. It sold within about a month, so it wasn't too bad, but this is really awesome. It's a 1977 Fitz & Floyd salt and pepper shaker set. Really cool, and it's in perfect shape. Now this one here was actually interesting, and I didn't know the full extent of what I could expect to make on it. Let's see, I think I paid $2 for this one at it's basically like a resale shop that was going out of business, and they had everything like dramatically reduced. I think this was, yeah, I think she originally had $10 on this. There was a 75% off sale, so $2.50, let's call it, for this whale knocker, and it actually sold for $70 with shipping included. I hesitated on the price with that, but I finally landed on $70 because of its uniqueness, and where else are you going to find one? So it's one of those things where you sort of just have to go off of your instinct, and it actually sold within like 3 days. Whenever that happens, it makes me be like, oh, did I price it too low? I cannot think like that. I just have to move on and do better next time, but I'm really happy with turning $2.50 into $70. So after everything's considered, that's $54. Hard to say on the shipping, to be honest, because that buyer actually bought like 5 other things from my shop, so it was a multi-item order. So I'm estimating that it was like $10 shipping. So I came up with a rough idea of $54 profit on that. But no matter how you slice it, I did amazing on that knocker. Can't knock that. This here is awesome. It's one of these bohemian, you know, I say bohemian, but hey, it's this nautical style hanging shell apparatus. Chandelier, I guess I put on there. That's a fun way to say it. It's a chandelier. So you can put a candle in there. I wouldn't recommend lighting it, but you could put a candle like down in this reservoir area. But this is a beautiful hanging shell thing. I just love it so much. Now I've actually bought this at a yard sale for $2 or $3. I think it was $3. Yeah, I don't know. It gets really hard to remember some of these things, but it was not more than $3. And it's just beautiful. This actually sold for $75 with shipping included. After everything, I made about $59 on this shell planter. It's really pretty. I have one of these I have a similar one in my bedroom that I bought whenever I was like 9 years old in Florida. I was given, you know, whenever you're young, you're given like this money to spend when you're on vacation. So I think I had whatever it was, and I was looking for something substantial to buy because I didn't want to buy just like a lot of little gimmicky things. So I found this really beautiful shell planter in Florida at a gift shop, and it was like $45 or $55 at the time, and I bought it. And so I bought it. I had it hanging in my room whenever I was younger for a while. Then I was like, okay, I'm kind of over this. So then I regifted it to one of my grandmas, and she had it hanging with her chime collection. She had a really large wind chime collection, and she had it for 15 years or so, maybe a little more. And then when she recently passed away, I got it back. So now I have it hanging in my room, and it's fun just to kind of look at it and be like, oh, you know. But anyways, off topic. I think that was a good return, $59 on this shell planter. This was another interesting find that I actually bought at that same resale shop that was going out of business. So this was marked originally $10, which was an outstanding price as it is for a carnival glass hanging pendant light. This kind of, swag lamp. The problem with her shop is it's out of the way, and people just weren't going to it, and she kept very unusual, unpredictable hours. She was terrible at that. There is a video very early on. I don't recommend viewing it because it's terrible, because I don't know what I'm talking. No, I do. I cringe at my old videos. Even considering, like, this is going to be an old video in a couple days. I'll cringe now. So that video is, I think it's called Mid-Century Mania or something. It's her shop, and I'm not gonna get into it, but she's closed down now, and I bought this light for $2.50, and it sold for $165 on Etsy. The shipping was quite a bit. It was $33, $33.23 for shipping, but I netted about $120. So that's pretty darn good. I do great with lighting whenever I actually feel like dealing with it, because it is one of those things where it does take a minute to package it. You know, there's a worry that it's going to break along the way, and it's so big and bulky, you have to watch out. So it does take extra time, takes up extra shipping materials. So there's that to consider. But all in all, I think that was really a really fun item. And I'll slide through the photos real quick, but beautiful. I just love this light. I think it has so much character, and it'll make a huge splash to any space you put it in. You know, lovely. I love having this fireplace behind. Well, I love having the fireplace in the house because it makes a great backdrop to a lot of things. So very cool. Next up is this really awesome Royal Copley planter. So I don't really buy a lot of planters, but this was part of a large grouping, at an auction where I got a few other things for the cost, you know. And I paid $8, I think it was, for, let's say, 5 solid items that I knew at the time that I could sell. This was one of those 5. And so let's pretend that I paid like $4 for this planter. That's about right. I had another planter. I still have it. It's a green one. But with that considered, I sold this one planter for $30. The shipping was $8.50, and I made about $17. So after all that, $17 is not bad. I love it. It's a beautiful planter. The pink is so retro, so unique. And look at the shape. I just love this rounded off, you know, beautiful. One last thing to go. This made the list because it was a great flip, and I love it. So this is one of those things where I wasn't really sure what it was going to sell for. It's because what it is, it's a light switch cover. And how much could you expect to sell a light switch cover for? $10 maybe? Well, I did sell it for $24, which I thought was pretty good. It sold within about a week, I think, too. So this is from the 1930s. Very awesome plastic jadeite light switch cover surround. And just a really fun piece here. It has this Art Deco skyscraper motif on it. I netted after everything about $17 because I paid $1 for this. This was one of those items I picked up in Pennsylvania along our trip whenever I was visiting Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, and Scott from the old Curiosity Shop. So I went to this place called, I forget, Thunderbird Salvage. And they had this kind of laying in there. I had to scrub on this quite a bit. You can still see some paint on the photo, but I sat there for a good 10 minutes trying to get the paint off. But it's a great, great piece here. So all in all, I'm really happy with how things turned out. I had a great month of July. August was fantastic. I'm behind on this type of video, so probably within a couple of weeks I might have another one going over August. My August sales on Etsy, but really fun. I think, yeah, just all in all, I had a lot of great things sell, and it was hard nailing down this list. So I don't know. I was thinking about doing another video, but let's keep it small here. One video per month. But anyways, hopefully you like that little look back at what happened on my Etsy shop. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.